really excited about today, but I'm also nervous, so you might see my hand shaking just a little bit because I don't usually get up in front of this many kids all at once. This is my friend Mason Metzger, and I have known Mason since he was about in first grade, and I worked with his mom at Warsaw Community Church. And I used to be worried that Mason was going to run over me with this wheelchair when he was a little guy, but he seems to have it under control now, so he's not going to hurt anybody with it. What I love about Mason and what I really wanted you guys to hear is Mason's perseverance. And we talk a lot about perseverance here and sticking things out. And when you look at Mason, you can tell that Mason has some challenges in his life. And a lot of those are very visible, very outside, external challenges. But we, the teachers here, we know and care about you guys, and we know that a lot of you guys have internal stuff, inside struggles. Some of you have illnesses that not everybody knows about. Some of you have families that are really hard to live with. And it's the same kind of struggle. It just looks different. And so I'm hoping that as we talk to Mason today, that something that you hear from him will stick with you. I hope forever. And hope that it changes you and that it helps you face those challenges a little bit. Mason, tell us a little bit about just your family and then your disability, because we may not all know that or understand it.
Okay, so my family, I have...
You have to turn it on. Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. Boston.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so my family, my whole family owns a trucking company called Metzger Trucking. We've been in business for over 60 years, and we haul loads all over the country. So yeah, and then I have my mom, my dad, and my sister Avery, and then me. So yeah, and then so my disability is called spastic cerebral palsy, which means spastic means that your muscles are tight, and then with my cerebral palsy, it's hard for me to walk, but I can walk with some assistance to short distances, but what I like to focus on is not my disability, but my ability, and I've gone through challenges in my life, but I've been able to overcome them.
Great. When I heard you speak at Grace College, I heard you mention that third grade was a struggle. And I wondered if you could talk to us because either we are in third grade or we've been in third grade, so we're pretty close to that time.
Mm-hmm. So my third grade year was hard because the workload, I think, was a lot from second grade moving into third grade. And then I had to start figuring out the steps in order to advocate for myself. And so it was just a really challenging time. And so that's the things that I remember. But in fourth grade, it was one of the best years of my elementary career because I was able to learn how to use technology in order to further my education and make my life better. And in fourth grade, I started speaking in front of people. And at first, I wanted to be a special education teacher, but then I kind of decided that I needed to share my story with others, which is what made me want to be a motivational speaker. And so I'll start out with my mission. So my mission is to inspire and equip all people, be a shining light to the world, and share my story. with others.
Excellent. You talked about advocating for yourself, and I want us all just to understand that that means you had to kind of stick up for yourself and make sure that you weren't getting left behind or left out of different things that other kids were getting to do, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, how do you shine a light for others?
I always try to have a smile on my face no matter what I do, and just be friendly, and I try to just no matter what I go through, just make sure that I always try to have a positive attitude.
How do you, like some of us are looking at you, and you have a lot of challenges on an everyday basis. Getting out of bed, getting ready for school, just things that we all kind of take for granted. How do you keep such a positive attitude when you have to do all those things?
So my family really helps me stay positive, and because like my mom and dad have to get me dressed in the morning, put my shoes on, I can brush my teeth, but see everything if I was doing it by myself, it would take me a lot longer, which is something that I just have to work toward independence. Like, hopefully one day I'll be able to dress myself without help. And there will always be stuff that I need help with. But the good thing about my disability is it can only get better, it can't get worse. So if I work really hard and keep practicing my skills, then I'll be able to work towards doing things on my own.
Sometimes I think when things are hard for us, it's kind of easy to just give up. Have you ever felt like just stopping or giving up, and how did you fight that?
I definitely thought of giving up, but my family kind of helped me realize that I should never give up, and throughout my life, my teachers at Warsaw have really helped me realize to never give up and always help others, and because maybe something that you've gone through can help someone else. So that's something that I've learned.
I was thinking about bullying is a really big thing in schools. And I wondered if, as a younger child, or even now, if you're still picked on or made fun of, and how you face that. Because I know here we have kids who feel picked on sometimes, and I wonder if you can speak to that.
I'm sure I've been bullied, but I've never really seen it. I think it's happened behind my back, but I think that I've shown everyone that I'm just like everyone else. So I'm sure that I've had problems with bullying, but I've never really seen it. Like, I think there was only one time where someone was bullying me straight to my face. So.
Okay, so you just move on.
Yep.
Just keep facing things and moving on as you go. I know you said you wanted to be a motivational speaker. What kind of steps are you going to use to get there?
I've been taking classes to help me, like, learn how to be a motivational speaker. Like next year I'm taking like a radio and TV class, which I won't necessarily be on the radio, and I might be on TV, but it'll just help me with skills with talking. And then I've gotten opportunities, like I've gotten to speak at Grace College, which was really cool. And yeah, and this is an opportunity that I'm really grateful for, and I hope that I can inspire you and just show you that I go through challenges, but you can overcome them too.
When you talked about going through challenges, you talked about wanting to be a leader, and I wondered if you could talk to us about maybe how we can be leaders and how them?
Okay, so you can all be leaders, and you all have a specific part in your school or wherever you are that you can fill. Like, you can all try to have a positive attitude, because when you have a positive attitude, it makes your life better, it makes your school better, and it just, I believe that it makes you, like, you feel better about yourself. And I haven't always had a positive attitude, but I always try.
Okay. I heard you talk about some hobbies and things that you like to do, and I bet some of us will be surprised here at the things that Mason is willing to try. Because I know sometimes we all face things, and it's time to try out for the soccer team, or it's time to try out for the basketball team. And Mrs. Miller's not very good at basketball, you know, you can imagine. But Mason has really had the opportunity to do some really cool things and try those.
Okay, so I've gone water skiing, and you might be like, well, how does Mason know water skiing? And so, well, how I went water skiing was they had sort of a seat like this with it looks like a surfboard on the bottom, like one big surfboard that the seat sits on, and then you get strapped in, and then you hold a rope, and then the boat pulls you along. And when I got to do that was actually at a day camp called Camp Whack, and they came to Warsaw, and they came to Hidden Lake, which is sort of close to here, but that was a really cool opportunity. I've also gone snow skiing, and so snow skiing is kind of similar, but the difference is in water skiing you're in the water, and with snow skiing you're on the snow. And so when I went snow skiing, it was at a place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, about 7 hours away from here. And it was at a place called Challenge Mountain, and it was like a big hill that you got to go down. And the equipment that they used there was sort of like a surfboard again, but with 2 skis on the bottom. Like if a surfboard was cut in half, and then there were outriggers on the side, so you couldn't really tip yourself over, but then you went down the mountain, and a snowmobile pulled you up the mountain, and then when you went down, you had an instructor behind you, and as you got better at snow skiing, the instructor wouldn't have to do as much. So once I got better at that, then the instructor was just on like ropes. Well, they're sort of like ropes, but they're called tethers. And then the instructor would just follow you, and you would lean side to side in order to turn the ski, which was really cool, and it was just an awesome opportunity. And then, and I also saw blind people skiing there, and they had like instructors too, and then they had vests that said blind skier so that you wouldn't hit them. And so how they would ski was their instructor would have this bar that they would hang on to with the blind person, and then the blind person would be able to ski, and that was just really cool. And all of these people would volunteer their time in order for us to do it. So yeah, that was really